flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Si. Once again, good morning. Welcome to our November meeting of the Delaware County Transportation Improvement District. Good morning to those of you online. My name is Chris Boserman. I'm the county engineer and have the privilege of chairing our board. To my right is Tracy Davies, our vice chair and county administrator. To our left, our secretary treasurer from the auditor's office, Cy Keeley, and two very distinguished members at large, Tom Price and Pat Blaney. So, welcome. And the first item is public comment. Is there any public comment this morning? Hearing none, I'll move to item 3. You have the minutes from our board meeting in October, and I'd entertain a motion regarding the approval of those minutes.
So moved.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Yes. In the staff report, they had FOR has been acquired for field. Does that mean and filed?
Where are you, Pat, or Tom? I'm sorry.
On the first page there, staff report under Silicon Heartland. First sentence, right of way has been acquired for filed for appropriation.
Probably and filed, I believe.
Yeah, it's or. Sorry about that, Tom, we'll typo.
And filed.
Acquired and filed for appropriation.
Yeah, that's what I think. Thank you.
Or filed.
Yeah.
Good catch.
The other items, we need to treat that as an amendment to that motion, or are you okay with
No,
the
Just
Scrivener error that
Yeah.
can be corrected by staff? Okay. With the motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the motion carries. Are there any reports from any of our board members? Hearing none, let's move to item 5 for our secretary treasurer's report.
The current cash balance is $6,029,126.69. That's all I have today.
And with that, we'll move to item 7, which means there's ample resources to approve a budget amendment.
Staff report?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I skipped you, Rob. I'm sorry.
It's all right, skip away.
Thank you, Pat.
Well, good morning, everyone. I will briefly summarize the staff report for the last month. We have a couple of items regarding the Silicon Heartland regional projects for your consideration, but we have received bids for the County Line Road construction at Center Village and at at Fancher Road. Low bidder was Shelley and Sands with a bid of $4,729,929, which was 9.5% under the engineer's estimate. So it was very good news. Actually had a very good bid spread. We relatively small amount separated the top 3 bids, so I think that's a good indicator. That's a good price. Resolution 2025-06 is proposed for your consideration to approve that agreement. Work will probably start next summer, tentatively May, but they will have the window of May to September to complete both of those intersections. They will go one after the other. They will not be closed at the same time. So, glad to answer any questions about that project if you have any.
Yeah. You know, looking around at different projects in different places, the clearance of the right-of-way by utilities seems to be getting more and more of a problem. Are you finding that too with your projects?
Very much so. Yes.
Yeah.
That is unquestionably the thing that dictates project schedule more than anything, how quickly utilities will relocate. I would say some utilities are better than others.
Yeah.
I would say we have continual issues with telecommunication companies.
Yeah, that's where I'm seeing it too.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there any effort by County Engineers Association to have a law change on that?
It's a item of discussion for our association, but there are probably only 5 or 6 counties that are encountering that in metropolitan areas where larger scale projects are taking
Okay,
place.
so-
In the rural counties that are more focused on maintenance and bridge replacement and those kind of things, it's not so much of an issue for them. So
Okay.
it doesn't have
I gotta get-
the inertia of our whole
Yeah,
association
yeah,
behind it.
okay. All right, just curious.
Is that caused by lack of manpower at that level? Whereas we've gone through several years of those people probably not getting hired and going into private practice.
I think that's a lot of it, Tom. Lack of resources, particularly with the, again, I would say the telecommunication cables are, because one of the things, I mean, it's at the end of the day a result of the deregulation, the kind of proliferation of more and more broadband carriers, where it used to be you'd have one carrier, one cable on a set of power poles or maybe a separate set of poles. Now you might have 2, 3, 4, 5 different carriers that are either buried or on those same poles. The power company will relocate the poles, and then generally speaking, each carrier wants at least 30 days from the time when those poles are set to move their cables back to new poles or bury them in new locations. So much more of a problem than it used to be. But, we do the best we can.
I know one project's been sitting there, there's a pole right in the middle of the intersection, the power company's moved the poles. It's been sitting that way for probably 4 months.
I know the one you're
Nobody
talking about,
found
I
out
think.
anything.
Yes,
The pole that's blocking the completion of the intersection.
yes. Very frustrating.
Yeah,
One of the other things that's changed over the years, most of the utilities did all of that relocation work with their own forces, and now they hire contractors to do what they can't, and it's different directing your own people than directing a contractor in terms of scheduling and managing priorities, and so that's a challenge as well. The hurricane season is always iffy. If there's a disaster, so many of the contractors working in this area pick up and go south. I'm not saying they shouldn't be responding
you're right.
to disasters, but that's the reality is our projects get put on hold while they're responding to those things. So that didn't happen as much when it was in-house crews
Yeah.
doing that work.
Is it possible to put a bonding in place where those companies, even though they're off-site or out of state, there's a bond in place that says we will have the money available, you will do this, and it's almost a statute?
Yeah, that'd have to be something contractually between the utility and the contractor. And we don't have any authority to require
No.
bonding for. Basically, their presence in the right of way is it's approved by permit. We don't even have the authority to charge for the
State
permit. By a county permit in our county roads.
If it's
Yeah.
a state route, state permit.
If it was a state route, it would be a state permit, yes. But in general, there's apparently quite a lengthy case law history of utilities having the right to be in the road right of way. Our permit simply says they aren't interfering with our rights to use it as a public roadway right of way. So in most cases, we can't really prohibit them from being in the right of way. Their interests are secondary to ours, so we have a senior right to use that. But
And
we
move them.
we order them to move, but we don't have any leverage to order the timing of how they respond. So,
Okay, thank you.
you didn't know you were opening up such a can of worms, did you?
Well, I figured it would be.
Well, I'll move on to the next project, the Sunbury Interchange 713637. If you've been in that ballpark recently, you'll see very good progress on Phase A. Really no other significant updates from last month, other than to say we still hope to start right-of-way acquisition, excuse me, on Phase B in early 2026, and start construction 2027, hopefully at the latest, potentially late 2026, if we can get through the right-of-way acquisition quickly. So Phase C plans are starting to get under design. That is a much more complicated phase due to just the topography and more going on in Phase C than Phase B. So as of now, planning on 2029 construction start for that phase. Orange Road grade separation at the railroad, again, no significant updates. We are still waiting on the grant agreement for the $21 million rail crossing elimination that was approved by the US DOT. Not holding us up. We're still plugging ahead with the design. We will have final plans probably next summer. And at that point, it'll be up to the railroads to give us the final project agreement to move into construction. So still on track for probably 2027 or 2028 construction start there. So, and that I did want to point out the $8.3 million grant from the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission is to the TID, not the county. And so we will have to figure out whether that is indeed a contract that the TID wants to hold, or whether that will be designated to the county commissioners or even ODOT. And so we'll have some more discussion about that. I guess the grant being awarded to the TID doesn't necessarily mean the TID has to hold the construction contract, because that will be a big one. That'll be about $40 million. So obviously we'll have some that's very real. That's a big contract to hold. So, but more discussion on that certainly between then and now. Bale Canyon Road Phase 2. If you've been through that area, the construction is complete. That was wrapped up at the end of October, a little bit ahead of expectation. And good to see that done. $750,000 grant towards this project was provided. I don't believe we've actually paid that to the township yet, but we'll get an invoice from the township for that contribution. Last but not least, Stockwell Road improvements. That OPWC grant was submitted last week, and so we will keep our fingers crossed for, on behalf of the townships, to get some help with that project. We will be finishing the design of that project at the county engineer's office in-house over the winter and through the spring, and then hopefully go to construction in the summer of next year. That's all I have for project updates. Any questions on any of those projects? Okay, I'll move on to the budget amendment, and we can certainly discuss this more with the next item, but brief explanation. ODOT, as you may recall, is developing the third of the three roundabouts. That is at 37 and County Line Road, Delaware-Lincoln County Line Road. It's kind of an accounting exercise. Government accounting never ceases to make me laugh at times, but basically that Silicon Heartland grant was awarded to the TID, and so essentially what we're doing is sort of trading checks back and forth between ODOT. ODOT has invoiced the TID for $813,000, which is the estimated amount of right-of-way expenses for that intersection. As soon as we pay that to ODOT, we'll turn around and invoice the Silicon Heartland program for that same amount. So it's just it's a cash flow exercise. In order to do that, we need to have the appropriation to spend that $813,000, but we are offsetting that with revenue. So that's the first two items in red there. Third item, very minor change, just to change the a description line to clarify that the eliminated that construction through 12/31/25, just so there's no confusion when our books are wrapped up at the end of this year. That's all expenses relating to the two intersections at Center Village and Fancher, so not just construction. So that's all I have on that. Glad to answer any questions.
Item 3 there, you just eliminated that phrase construction through 12/31/25.
Correct. No other change to that item.
Okay. All right.
Just a clarification, because we have expenses relating to right-of-way acquisition and other elements of the
Right.
construction under that item.
Construction hasn't started yet, so,
Yes.
all right.
So I will move on. Wanted to talk briefly about some of the future projects that may potentially be good candidates for the TID to be involved with in the future. Wanted to start with Bunny Station Road, and as you know, last week the Olentangy School District had a bond levy on the ballot that was approved. That bond would fund several different new schools within the district, one of those being high school number 5, located on Bunny Station Road, which is about a half-mile west of Sawmill Parkway. Bunny Station Road is in pretty good condition physically. The pavement's in good shape. However, high schools are big-time traffic generators. A lot of trips will be going to and from that high school. Currently a 2-lane road, about 20 feet of pavement roughly. Our concern, I think, is frankly the amount of traffic that will be added. We anticipate roughly doubling the amount of traffic on that road once the school is open, and the lack of graded shoulders and then the addition or the need for a turn lane along the school frontage. So nothing has been determined yet. I did want to at least point this out just to keep you apprised. We may have some discussions with the townships about potentially doing a project. We will be talking with the school district about how best to accomplish some of that work, and I will certainly keep you in the loop, but really not looking for any direction from you today other than if you do have any thoughts or opinions, I'm totally open to any thoughts you have. But the nice thing about the financial position the TID is in right now, we do have the ability to work with the townships. Similar arrangement to what we've done on Beanaller Road, also currently Stockwell Road, where the TID could potentially hold a construction contract and then receive reimbursements from townships to help facilitate the construction versus one township being the contracting entity for a large sum. So I'll leave it at that, open to any thoughts or questions you have.
Question related to the schools. Are they typically required to participate or pay for roadway improvements?
I would say it's debatable on what the county can actually require, but I will say Olentangy Schools has been very good and very cooperative about
Okay.
contributing to needed roadway projects, particularly along the frontage. They don't want to see kids and students and parents getting hurt for lack of proper roadway infrastructure. Once you get away from the school site, I think that's been a little bit more difficult
Yeah.
to try to get any contribution. But with that said, I think what we're looking at is primarily the frontage improvements along the school frontage, and there's a lot of it. It's a relatively long site east to west.
I'd just jump in and add our authority from the county engineer's office is different for a school than it is
Yes.
in development.
Yes.
Schools aren't going through a platting process,
Nope.
probably not a zoning process, and certainly not through the regional planning.
Yeah.
So there really isn't a point for us to have leverage.
Yeah.
But as Rob pointed out, I think the schools have been very,
That's what I
very
thought. That was
cooperative.
more my question.
we haven't been in that position
Mhm.
where we've really, had conflict over that.
Yeah, I thought they had been participatory in the past.
They have.
As schools go here in Delaware County, and the fastest growing county in Ohio, and so forth, a precedent for that probably is not being set here because we've already done projects where we've helped with access going into the school area, correct?
I think that's correct, Tom. Now, the TID involvement, I think really the only project we've had to date is that Beanola Road widening just west of Sawmill. That was largely motivated by the new elementary school, which would be one of the schools that's the district builds. But at the end of the day, those were that was a township road, and so we were helping facilitate combining multiple sources of funding. This I would envision being the same arrangement if there's a role for the TID. Now it's entirely possible the school district will say, you know what, we'll just take care of the widening, we'll do it as part of our site package along the frontage. Then obviously if there's an extension of that project, that could be either done at a later date under a separate contract, or I don't know. We have to have those conversations at this point.
Do you think there's a savings that the TID can effectively do that would save the school district dollars on something like this? Timing-wise, we can do it faster, we understand that.
I would say, there's an economy of scale factor in there. The larger the project, generally the better unit prices. And I would say, for the most part, the site contractors may not be, the contractor doing site work may not have the specialization for road work.
Sure.
So I don't know. Is there potential for cost savings? Absolutely.
So there's kind of
Yes. I will say, when there's a public agency involved, the townships are eligible for grant funding through Ohio Public Works Commission. That was the very same deal on Beanola Road. The PWC kicked in money, which at the end of the day saved both the township and the school district some money, because the state was kicking in money for that project. So I could see a similar arrangement here where, yes, it could result in real savings for every party. So if there's nothing further on Bunny Station, the other project I wanted to bring up is Plum Road. Plum Road is a township road with 4 townships involved. I would say physically it's not in great condition. It's not falling apart, but it's in need of some work. What will be changing over the next several years is the amount of development in that area. And so we have one development that's currently under construction. It's called Plum Creek. Includes 91 lots. It's just to the west of the freeway, north of Plum Road. Has entrances both on Plum Road and then up at Dustin Road. That will generate somewhere in the order of about 500 trips per day on Plum Road, and Plum is currently carrying about 1,600. So just that one development is adding maybe 30% to the current ADT. We have another development that is been through zoning, currently in engineering. That is called Mira Luna. That's a 159 lot subdivision off of Roden Corners, just south of Plum Road, and that expecting to start probably in 2027. They have a good bit of sewer work they need to do for that project. But at the end of the day, we're starting to see kind of that corner of Genoa Township as well as Berkshire Township develop. And certainly more to come, I'm sure, once sewer is available in that area. So Plum Road sticks out, at least in our opinion at the engineer's office, is one of those roads that's going to need some attention. And with 4 townships involved, you know, there's possibility TID could assist with that. So again, haven't had a lot of those discussions yet with the townships. I did want to at least present that as something we may be talking about. Certainly didn't want to obligate or propose anything for the TID's involvement that you weren't supportive of.
I assume that none of those residential projects are currently being proposed for TIFs?
Not to my knowledge,
Okay.
but I don't know that for certain. So that is all I have for the staff report. And glad to answer your questions.
Anything else for Rob? Nope. Rob, thank you for your good work and your thorough report. We'll move to item 7, which is the budget amendment that Rob outlined for us in his report. And I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
A motion to approve.
Second.
A second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8 is awarding the contract for the County Line Road improvements at 2 intersections. And Rob outlined the bids for us in that, and I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded for approval. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Does anyone have any other business to come before us this morning? Hearing none, Rob, do we need to have we need to have a meeting in December?
I wanted to propose it to the board. We would either need the meeting next month on December 10th or January 14th. We will certainly need one of those two, if only to approve the budget for next year. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to work with SI to develop that budget yet. I think we could wait till January 14th to do that, but I would leave it at your board's pleasure, which one of those 2 meetings you would prefer. We certainly don't need both of them.
I would prefer December.
You would? Okay.
Will you be able to chair the meeting in December? Because I will be out of town.
I should be able to. Why don't we just hold the dates at both dates and touch base as we get closer?
It's fine. I'm not available on the 10th, but there's no reason we can't go ahead and meet without me. So.
Yeah, I'm open, so which we can kick the can a couple of weeks, or Tom or Pat, if you have an opinion.
Well, the only thing, of course, I guess, I'm looking at what it was like in private practice. December is always
I'm sorry, Pat, I'm trying.
I was looking for January rather than December, but that's based on my experience in private practice.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, because December was always a clutch month. So, but I don't know how it is with your office side, whether you're clutched in December, or whether you're clutched all the time, or whether you're never clutched. I don't know.
December and January are bad for me, but either works.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll play it by ear then.
Well, let's,
Wait and see.
you'll let us know whether you have
Well,
concern
Rob and
about
I will
the-
talk and figure out
Yeah.
when we'll have the budget together.
Okay.
Yeah, I will probably have the budget done in the next week or two and get that to Si for his his review and input. So I can be ready for either, but
Okay.
Okay, so to be announced, our next meeting.
Keep everybody on pins and needles.
And hearing no other business necessary, I will declare us adjourned, and thank you all for your attendance and attention.